Hema. So in our first part of this series, we looked at mantras, sacred sounds, and sacred intentions that we can hold for those subtle moments when we're moving out of our sleeping state of consciousness and into this waking world. And we explored a few mantras, we explored a few ways to orient our entire being toward a light-filled and intentional stepping forward into the day. And today we're going to look at a few mantras that we can use after we're out into the world and we're ready to have a morning practice. So we're ready to go a little bit deeper and bring a next level of devotion, of intention to our day. Maybe our thinking mind has woken up a little bit, and now we're ready to use it as we set an intention for the day with these mantras. So these mantras can happen, of course, any mantra you can chant at any time of the day, but these are a few very appropriate ones to use at that morning time when you're maybe coming to your altar, coming to your meditation space. You're feeling fresh, you're feeling clean, and you're feeling ready to consciously connect with something deeper within. So typically these happen, I've done the morning practice, now I've come, and this first one is for that moment that you light your lamp. You light a candle or you light a lamp. And invoking light by bringing physical flame is such a time-tested tradition. We see the fire, we see flame in virtually all spiritual traditions. There's some aspect of this fire for its symbolism of transformation, of illumination, of light, of dispelling darkness, of bringing clarity, bringing awareness. So there's so many symbolic, rich meanings to light. And so in the Vedic tradition, there's this beautiful prayer that we say the moment that we have lit that lamp. And I want to share that with you now. And this mantra is very close to my heart because for many years, it was the first mantra that we would chant as a group when we would light the first lamp inside of the school, when Acharya Shunya had a physical school. So it holds many memories of many people chanting it together. And even now I use this mantra when I first light my lamp in the morning. And it grounds me in beautiful ways. So let's explore this mantra together. I'll share my screen now, and I'll also paste the words of this mantra in the chat as well, so you can see it there. We paste it first, and then we can proceed. So this mantra, we chant this when we're looking at our lamp in front of us. And the words of this mantra are, I'll chant it for you once, and then we'll explore its meaning. So we say, Shubham karoti kalyanam arogyam dhana sampada shatra buddhi vinashaya deepa jyoti namostute. So with this verse, we're bowing to that light that we have just struck. Salutations to the light of this lamp, which brings auspiciousness and prosperity. I bow to the light of this lamp that it may destroy the ignorance from my mind. So a few words in this may feel familiar. You may have recognized some of these words in this mantra. Shubham. Shubham means auspiciousness. Karoti means to make or to do. So we're saying that this lamp is having the action. It has this power to cause or make auspiciousness. Kalyanam, well-being in a vast sense of the word. Arogyam, health. So this light is awakening health, state of health inside of us, state of ease. Dhana, which is wealth, meaning like money and resources. Sampada, wealth in terms of general prosperity. This word shatra buddhi, it means vinashaya means to destroy, to remove, to uproot and cast away. The enemy of the intellect. And what is the enemy of our intellect, our buddhi? It doesn't mean enemy is out there. We mean that ignorance, those confusions, those delusions and distortions, the forgetfulness that overcomes us throughout day-to-day life. And when we've been away from wisdom teachings for any amount of time, this light destroys those, casts away that inner ignorance. Deepa means the lamp, Jyoti, the light, Namostate. So I'll bring back the verse here and I'll chant each line. I'll chant the line and then give you a moment to repeat it afterwards. And remember, as we're chanting these verses, there's one aspect of it where we're shaping the words with our mouth and our voice. There's also an aspect of thinking of the meaning, meditating on what that means. What does it mean to honor a light, a lamp in this way? And then there's this piece where we allow those sounds to reverberate inside of us. So beyond the language, remembering that these mantras are reverberations that emerge from within rishis, rishikas, in a deep, deep state of inner union. And those reverberations that emerge are what we continue to connect with as mantras. So we're connecting with something wordless, a pure vibration. So let us chant. I'll chant each line, and then you can follow after me to experience that vibration in you. The chant begins. Shubham karoti kalyanam. Arogyam dhana sampada. Shatrabuddhi vinashaya. Deepa Jyotir Namostute. So we're bowing to that light of that lamp, which brings auspiciousness and prosperity in every sense of the word. And we're bowing to the light of that lamp that destroys an ignorance, confusion, delusion from my mind. I think you may have had experiences where you have every intention of coming to worship, to practice meditation, to contemplate on words or teachings that you've received from a teacher, but the mind gets in the way. Or the aching body feels uncomfortable and it distracts us. Or we're rushing and so concerned about our physical well-being, or this feeling that we're lacking something, that it's hard to concentrate. It's hard to let the mind settle and let it be at ease. And so here we hand all of that over to the lamp. We surrender all of that distraction to this light. I find this mantra supports me in, it draws all of my senses towards the light. It's a moment of filling the entire conscious awareness with the perception of light. And it's this sort of full stop to the altar practice. Full stop to begin the altar practice. So often when we're stepping into a practice with an altar or a meditation or a worship practice, our morning practice, we may have a routine, we may have a set few things we like to do, but this becomes a sacred invocation, a sacred start to the day. The mind doesn't have to think about what it should do. It doesn't have to wonder if it's in the mood to do it or not, or in the headspace to do it or not. Just starting with the lamp, starting with the light. So by the time I find that this mantra is over, I may have had to go boil the milk and get it ready and set it out for my kids. Or I may have had to even make like a shopping list of what I need to do that day, what I need to pick up. Maybe even had to respond to some email or respond to someone's message. But this mantra brings me back, brings me back. I'm settled back in with this mantra. So let us chant it one more time together, shall we? And let's just feel that with us, that it's evoking and you can, if you have a lamp with you, you can look at that lamp, but you can picture inside of you a deepam, picture inside of you a container holding some kind of oil, or if it's a candle, it's wax, but holding something, and there is a wick that's being burnt, and there's a light that is aflame. And imagine that, let that fill your conscious awareness. And together we can chant this with full attention to that flame. Om Shubham karoti kalyanam Arogyam dhana sampada Shatra buddhi vinashaya Deepa jyotir namostute. Beautiful. So if this mantra speaks to you, you're welcome to incorporate this. It can be done anytime. It need not be done in the morning, but anytime you're facing that lamp and ready to put your entire being into a receptivity and a focus and a settled attention. The second, the next part of being with our morning practice is we have a few layers of gratitude that again help us settle, and become ready to connect with our inner divine presence, with the divine presence outside of us. And so traditionally we invoke the lamp, and then we have categories of gratitude and remembrance. And the first that we remember is our biological parents. We offer gratitude to our mother and father because those biological beings have gifted us this biological vessel, our own body. And it's because we have this body that we're able to undertake this spiritual journey. So we put the parents at the top. Whether they have been good parents, bad parents, broken parents, whole parents, however they've given us the fundamental gift of this physical body. So no matter how they've given us this container, which allows us to take this journey. So we remember them. And you can do this in any way that resonates with you. If you have a prayer, if you have a mantra, if it's simply a heartfelt remembrance. And then comes a gratitude to our guru, to our teacher. Because it's that person who has given us this guidance to reach our inner divine nature, who's reminded us of this transcendental quality that exists, that we can experience. So gratitude to the guru for the knowledge they've given us that's bringing us towards the divine. And for this, again, you can bring any chant you can use your own heartfelt prayer or remembrance. We have a few that we've explored together inside of the Vedic Study Circle with Acharya Shunya. So there's the Brahmanandam chant, which we explored in January. There's audio recordings of this in the member area of our Acharya Shunya Vedic Study Circle. That Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. This chant is also perfectly fine. So whatever resonates with you, whatever brings you into that space of gratitude. And these have been covered in previous videos as well. And then finally, we come to a deity mantra, some chant, some prayer, some acknowledgement of whatever form of the divine resonates with us. So this doesn't have to be a Hindu god or goddess. It doesn't have to be of any tradition, whatever is resonating with you. So you might say a mantra for Ganesha or one of the Devis or a prayer to Jesus or anything, any saint, any divine form that resonates with you. And it's very interesting to note this sequence that we're going from biological to a wisdom teacher to a transcendent presence. This ladder of recognition as we begin our practice is intentional. It's intentional because it's starting where we are and bringing us to where we are going. So the lamp mantra helps us be in this present moment, creating a sacred space. And then we begin with gratitude, acknowledgement, and recognition of our physical being through our parents, our knowledge pathway through our guru, and that transcendent presence, which has the potential to bless us, guide us, welcome us home to our own deepest self. So all of these can be done as per your choice. So, but these are the three categories that we may choose. So we invoke these. Then we come to this series of Shanti mantras. Now, Shanti mantras, there are many, many Shanti mantras inside the Vedic tradition, and you may be familiar with a few of them. But the unique thing about these Shanti mantras, why they all come together, is they're not a mantra asking for a certain outcome or a need to be fulfilled by God. We're not asking for something for ourselves. It's what's called as a nishikama prayer. Nishikama means it's not motivated by a desire for something. Please help me pass this test or get this job. Please help heal this relationship I have with my partner or with my relative. We're not asking for something specific. It's a prayer for what we truly need, which is peace. And it's a prayer for what we truly have to give, which is to shine and share our deep inner peaceful nature. It evokes this essence of this word mangalam, beneficence. So all of these mantras, one thing they have in common is they're evoking this essential quality of beneficence, of auspiciousness, of well-being that is present everywhere and in everything and is accessible and available and worthy for everyone. And so you can choose your own from anywhere, but we'll be exploring today 2 of these Shanti mantras. So the first that we'll look at is the Purnamadah mantra. I'll stop my share here just so I can paste this mantra there as well. So let's look at this mantra. You may have heard it many times, or it may be brand new, but let's explore it together today. So this word Purnam keeps coming, and we will explore that word shortly. But this mantra, it sounds like this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnam Purnadudachyate. Let me start afresh. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So this word Purnam is coming in different forms inside of this mantra. Purnamadah means that is the wholeness, is the entirety. And purnamidam, this is also wholeness. Purnat purnam udachyate. We say when we sing from this wholeness, wholeness arises, fullness arises. Purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishyate. When we take wholeness out of that wholeness, the wholeness still remains. Oh, peace, peace, peace. So this feels like a bit of when we just read it through, we say, okay, is this some kind of, logic puzzle or something? What's happening with this wholeness is here and there and everywhere? But as we sink into an experience of this word Purnam, then this verse evokes such a deep state of well-being and contentment and confidence and surrender inside of us. So when we look at that word, Purnam, Purnam here can mean a variety of things. It can mean, I'll share a few words with you. Purnam. Purnam means whole, full, means complete. Means Purnam is that which is indivisible, undivided, undifferentiated. Can mean content, Purnam, unbroken, and unfractured, never split up, but always together. And fundamentally, Purnam points us to that oneness. So when we do this logical play, when we play with these words and we are talking about that wholeness and that fullness, first it's saying that is wholeness, Purnamadah. So first we're set in this space where we're acknowledging that fundamentally we always are thinking there's this and there's that. There's me and there's them. There's inside and there's outside. So all the time we're making these categorizations, these differentiations. And this prayer is reminding us but that is wholeness and this is wholeness. So it's always full. It's not like we have two cups and sometimes one is a little more full and one is a little less full. There's a wholeness, a completeness. That is complete and this is complete. And so what relief we feel right off the bat of all of those calculations that we're doing in our mind so feverishly, calculating, is there enough? How much do they have? How much do I have? Is it more or is it less? Just it's all wholeness. It's all complete. It's all full. It's a deeply soothing thought. And from the whole arises. So we think of all of the manifestations that we experience out in the world, the situations, the relationships, the objects, everything that we're seeing. It's coming from this place of fullness, and it itself is also infused with that fullness. So that gives us an insight into where all of this manifestation is arising from, and the fact that it's not broken apart pieces, but it's still always complete in its fundamental essence. And taking away from the whole remains. So we cannot remove anything from it also. I can try to gather up a handful of the ocean and take it over here, but this verse is saying that wholeness is no less from pulling some over here. So there's this, it sequentially brings us into this deep state of oneness and union, of indivisibility, of unable to be broken. And this mantra, Again, it's a Shanti mantra because it's not praying for a certain outcome. It's not saying, make me whole. It's not saying, make me powerful. It's saying, let me remember my innate wholeness and fullness, and the wholeness and fullness of everyone and everything around me, and that we are one. Can never be separated, that there is this oneness. So let's again chant this mantra together. And as you chant, each time you hear that word Purnam, you might not yet feel very clear on which one's saying taking the wholeness, pulling the wholeness, which grammatical form of Purnam it is. But every time you say that word Purnam, think of that wholeness, that fullness, that completeness, and that whichever way we move, we're encountering wholeness and fullness. We're coming from wholeness and fullness. So let that awareness continue to be evoked each time you come to this word, Purnam. I'll chant each line and give you a moment to repeat after, and then we can chant it again together. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Let's chant it again together. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. One final time, we'll chant this together. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So observe this sequence to the morning practice. We light the lamp and bring our attention. Then we have gratitude for parents, for teacher, for the divine, in whatever form resonates with us. And then we're tapping into this experience of wholeness, fullness, contentment, completeness. And that's where this mantra brings us. So if you'd like, we can pause for a moment. You can add a word in the chat of how this sequence feels up to this point of a morning practice of mantra, of sacred sounds that the mind doesn't have to logically think. You don't have to remember certain ideas. They just immediately lock you in to to a certain kind of vibration, a certain kind of conscious awareness. Yeah. So you're welcome to share a word. Yeah. Grounding. Beautiful. Yeah, we feel settled, isn't it? We just feel landed someplace. Mhm, mhm. Yeah, lighting up my heart. Yes. We're we're feeling a lightness, a brightness inside of ourselves. Mhm. I found that these Shanti mantras, and specifically this mantra, Purnamadah, Purnamidam, this has, even though these mantras are not for a certain benefit, for a certain outcome, we're not negotiating with God in these prayers, I've experienced support, unasked and articulated, but I received support from these mantras, specifically this one. I find they support me, these words, this remembrance of Purnamada, Purnamidam, when I've faced loss, either a real experience of loss or a fear of an anticipated loss. This reminder of my wholeness, that nothing is being taken away and nothing can possibly be added. So, whatever I lose or whatever I'm afraid I won't get, it's along this backdrop, this foundation of wholeness and completion. So, it settles that experience, it calms the fever that can come around facing loss and the suffering that comes with loss. Uh, this mantra also counters this kind of scarcity consciousness. You know, people talk about from this place of scarcity. This every day reminding myself that I'm already full. In fact, I can't even escape my fullness, my wholeness, my completeness. So I'm never in a field of want or lack. I may feel removed from contentment, but I'm never actually truly able to step outside of a field of wholeness. So a lot of this common popular look at, abundance mindset or growth mindset, or, these are very popular terms right now. This Purnamada Purnamidam is the one that with just two lines kind of snaps me into that place of abundance, but abundance, not abundance in the vast Vedic concept of the word, of deep contentment and knowledge of fullness. And in very practical ways, I find the experience of this mantra helps me in a healthy detachment from my children. I'm a mother of two children. And this remembrance, sometimes in the day when I feel myself, when I've ever felt in a season of their lives that I'm becoming somewhat attached, meaning gripping tightly to the outcome of their lives, that they behave a certain way or that they grow into a certain shape. These thoughts creep in, these desires and attachments to the people who we're responsible for creeps in. But I find that the experience of this mantra in the morning carries through and reminds me that they have emerged from fullness. And they are full and complete in and of themselves. So I, as a parent, don't have to add anything to them to make them grow or to make them successful or to make them happy. Nor am I losing anything as I nurture them. So it's not like in my nurturing and mothering, I'm depleting myself, because I'm coming from fullness and I'm adding to fullness. It's like two full vessels are flowing back and forth in my nurturing and care. So whatever I give them from my wholeness and fullness, it dissolves into their fullness and wholeness. So it reduces the transactional uh, attitude that can creep into parenting. It helps me let go of desires I may have for what I imagine to be their fullest expression. Uh, because my small ego's wants and desires and imaginations and dreams for my children get settled and calmed. I remember that I am fullness and they are fullness. And I think this applies to any kind of caregiving. It could be caring for parents. It could be showing up in your neighborhood, housing association, kind of volunteering to help the neighbors, whatever it is, this from fullness to fullness. And whatever comes out of fullness is never lost from fullness. This, beyond words, when we invoke these mantras in our day to day, they change us from within, meaning they align us with deeper truth and they soften the rough parts of our ego that are gripping tightly to this outer world. And so these are some of the effects that this particular mantra has had for me. And the other way that this mantra has really helped as well is overcoming a fear of confrontation, a resistance of pulling away from difficult conversations. That was something that I faced earlier in my life of a kind of wanting everything to be harmonious. We're happy, we're all content, we're all full. But when it came time to have a difficult conversation, I felt myself drawing back to the detriment of myself and to others. So the vibration that I feel, the state that I'm brought into with this mantra, when I see a difficult conversation or confrontation coming up, this deeply soothing reminder that I am whole. And so I can't be injured by speaking the truth, nor will my truthful words harm the other person who needs to hear them. It changes the entire dynamic of interaction, specifically, and for me, I felt it most potently in the difficult conversations, in the hard conversations where truth had to be spoken. So it gave me a confidence, a courage, a strength and power in my words. So, like that, when you begin to incorporate these mantras, you don't know what benefit is going to come flowing back to you. But then you notice that your state of beingness is changed in different situations. So, this is this mantra here. The last mantra that we'll look at today is another of these Shanti mantras, a blessing mantra. And this mantra, it comes from the oral tradition. And when Acharya Shunya chants this, her voice carries this resonance. And in her voice, I can just hear the many people around her that she would have been speaking with, hearing, chanting alongside. There's a collective power and demand with this mantra. So there's many lines, but it has a beautiful rhythmic quality to it. And I'll paste this into the chat now, and then I'll open a slide where we can all view it together. So let's look at this mantra together. This is another blessing mantra, part of these Shanti mantras, because it's, again, not for ourselves, not for any selfish purpose, or it's, in fact, evoking mangalam, evoking auspiciousness, the blessing, the well-being, the highest good for all beings everywhere. And in this chant, it runs through the list of everything. It starts with Bhumi Mangalam. It's saying, may the earth, it goes through all the 5 elements. Bhumi, Udak is another word for water. Agni, fire. Vayu, air. Gagan means the sky, the expanse above us. Surya, the sun. Chandra, the moon. Jagat means this whole collective world, this universe that we're living in. Jiva, life. Deha, the body. Mano, the mind. Atma, the soul. Sarva Mangalam. It's like, may everything be auspicious and blessed. Bhavatu, bhavatu, bhavatu means like, yes, let it happen that way. So let it be. And it repeats that 3 times. Sarva Mangalam, bhavatu, bhavatu, bhavatu. Sarva Mangalam, bhavatu, bhavatu, bhavatu. So I'll chant this for you the way I hear Acharya Shunya chanted. And I invite you to follow along, simply read along, or simply listen. So when we chant this mantra, it sounds like this. Om Bhumi Mangalam, Udaka Mangalam, Agni Mangalam, Vayu Mangalam, Gagan Mangalam, Surya Mangalam, Chandra Mangalam, Jagat Mangalam, Jiva Mangalam, Deha Mangalam, Mano Mangalam, Atma Mangalam, Sarva Mangalam, Bhavatu Bhavatu Bhavatu. Sarva Mangalam, Bhavatu Bhavatu Bhavatu. Sarva Mangalam, Bhavatu Bhavatu Bhavatu. And the meaning here of this verse is, may the earth be auspicious, the water be auspicious, fire be auspicious, air be auspicious, sky be auspicious, sun be auspicious, moon be auspicious, universe be auspicious, life be auspicious, body be auspicious, mind be auspicious, soul be auspicious. May everything be auspicious again and again and again. May everything be auspicious again and again and again. May everything be auspicious again and again and again. So here we are covering it all. We are covering it all. We cannot think of anything that is not included in this list, isn't it? We're saying all of the elements, so that covers everything that we're seeing in our physical manifested world. We're looking at the earth, the all of the mahabhutas that are making up this world, and then the sun and the moon, which have deep representations of nourishment, of power, of light. And then we're looking at the Jagat, everything that is here. And the Jiva, the life. Jiva means the life, like the lifeness that we have. It also is the word for the embodied human being, the embodied being. So may this embodied person, this alive person, be blessed and auspicious. May the body and the mind and the soul be blessed. May everything and anything that doesn't fit into any of those categories, let it all be blessed. And when I hear Acharya Shunya chant this, and when I myself say these words, there is this this shakti, this kind of power that emerges, and it's like insisting, it's saying, acknowledging the truth of the auspicious qualities that are underlying everything. And it's calling out to that principle, that aspect of the divine that is everywhere. So this word mangalam, which is repeated again and again and again, let's look at this word mangalam, because when you see these kinds of verses translated, very often they say Mangala means auspicious. And then we ask, what does even auspicious mean? Like, does that mean lucky or like a good omen? Or what does auspicious mean? And sometimes it feels very narrow. But this word Mangalam is quite nuanced beyond just a dictionary definition. Inside this word Mangalam carries so many meanings: auspicious, beneficial, harmonious. So all of these things listed here are all in this. We're acknowledging the harmonious nature, the cosmic dance to which they're all moving and changing and evolving, but in a concert, in a harmony. Mangala means aligned with ultimate truth, conducive to well-being. Mangalam is that positive energy that supports spiritual growth and well-being. So we're calling out to that well intention, that good intention that is everywhere, truly. It refers to something that is blessed, favorable, beneficial. It often is also invoking divine or cosmic goodwill. It can, again, denote that presence of the positive energy that supports spiritual growth and well-being. So with this verse, we are saying, in all of these places, and I'm going to name many of them, In all of these places, Mangalam is there. And let me evoke it by becoming aware of it, by calling out to it, by pointing at it and saying, auspiciousness resides inside my body, it resides in my mind. The manifestation of all the elements around me is infused with this auspiciousness. So, as a Shanti mantra, we're again not saying, may all the ducks line up in a row in the way that my heart desires. We're saying, no, let me see, let me everywhere I look, everything I encounter, let it be auspicious. And auspicious in the sense of toward ultimate well-being, harmony, balance, with good intention. So let's chant this verse together. It happens a bit quickly, but it's really the first word only that is changing. And you may be familiar with some of these words. So we'll do it in a medium, we'll do it in a medium pace together. And as you're I would love to hear what your experience is with this mantra after you chant it. We'll chant it once, and then we'll give a few moments of quiet to allow it to reverberate inside of you. Okay? So let us come together here. Oh, Bhumimangalam, Udakamangalam, Agnimangalam, Vayumangalam, Gaganamangalam, Suryamangalam, Chandramangalam, Jagatamangalam, Jivamangalam, Dehamangalam, Manomangalam, Atmamangalam, Sarvamangalam, Bhavatu, Bhavatu, Bhavatu. Sarvamangalam, Bhavatu, Bhavatu, Bhavatu. Sarvamangalam bhavatu bhavatu bhavatu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take a moment to allow that to percolate. So let us pause here. Is there any reflection or thought or question, or just simply anything anyone wants to share with this mantra or any of the ones we've experienced so far today? Yes, Shweta, please, you can unmute yourself.
Jai Ma. I grew up with Shubham Karoti as a child, and we said it every night. And I've been teaching my little son, my 3-year-old, and we do it at night. And he is just really special to hear that again today. But so it just kind of brought it full circle to me today. Starting with that, and I will be doing that in the morning from now on as well. And then the last blessing prayer, I had never done that before, and it just it just kind of showered everything with this like light. Like it just made it almost felt like all my troubles, problems, they just gone. Like it just felt everything is auspicious. I'm shining this bright light on everything, and it just felt so uplifting and so joyful. So thank you. It's such a beautiful experience today.
That's beautiful, Shweta. Yes. So these mantras, it's beautiful also to say that Shubham Karoti in the evening, isn't it also? Because the light outside is fading, but then we're evoking that light in the darkness. So I love that it's incorporated for you any time of day. That's beautiful. Yeah, I know this, and when we do this blessing mantra, the final one we did, and we say bhavatu, 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 that bha sound, it has a clearing, and a bursting kind of feeling, does it not? Yes, yes. So when I feel that, it's like I'm popping the bubbles. You know, Acharya Shunya often says we have to pop the bubbles of samsara. We have to burst these um, veils and coverings and separations and small boxes that we're living in. We have to pop them. And this mantra does that for me. You know, bhavatu, bhavatu, bhavatu. It's like boop, 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 boop. I love it. Yeah. I'm hearing, yes, pure joy and giddiness while reciting Bangalam. It does feel, you know, you see sometimes a child like in the rain or something, or, you know, and they're going, and this and that, you know, they're just connecting with everything in the universe and seeing it as magical. Um, yes, the giddiness of reciting it. Yes. Kalyani shares the final blessing mantra felt like a cleansing rain. I'm experiencing strength and Shakti. Yeah. Yeah, we let it wash over us. And like you said, the washing away of trouble, worry, you know, all these things. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Yeah. And the beautiful piece, and through these kind of mantra sessions that we're doing, where we're highlighting these little pockets of time in the day where we can wash our whole mind, our whole being, and rinse it out with this kind of knowledge, with this kind of awareness, where we can again pop these bubbles of that I'm anything but utter wholeness, that there's anything but light, and that even in these things that feel difficult, challenging, unwanted, not preferred, you know, all these things, we're honing, we're changing our entire way of looking to see, even in those difficult or ugly or dark things in the world, there is this auspiciousness inside. There is this light inside. And so we put ourselves purposefully using mantra, we purposefully put ourselves into that vibrational space and allow it to echo throughout the day. And that has a real tangible impact on what happens next. Yeah.